Hello, people. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? I know you guys are probably like, what? He hasn't put out anything today? Nothing? I am now. Anyway, look. Plus, I got videos done already too. Look. Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad versus Batman. Right? Okay. Suicide Squad and Batman Arkham games are two different type of games. One game you're Batman taking on the entire villains of Arkham, right? And then in Suicide Squad, you're Suicide Squad taking on the Justice League. They're two different games. Batman is not the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is not Batman. They're two different games, two different stories, two different play style, two different gameplay. Okay? Suicide Squad map. Suicide Squad is an open world game. Suicide Squad map is two times bigger than Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight is an open world game, but Batman Arkham Knight map is not bigger than Suicide Squad. So they're two different games. And when it comes to the Suicide Squad, Rocksteady took a break from Batman so they could regroup and recalibrate and figure out where they're gonna go with their next Batman game. And they made the Suicide Squad. So but before that though, Rocksteady had made like about 8 to about 9 Batman games. Between Rocksteady and WB games, there's like between 8 or 9 Batman games, or 7 or 8. Because you got, okay, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight, right? That's from Rocksteady. Then there's a Telltale series, right? But then from WB now you got Arkham Origins, you got the Blackgate series, you got Gotham Knights, and of course you got DC Universe with Batman in it. So totally you got about like 8 or 9 games. Okay, so that should be enough games to hold you for now, until you figure out, okay, until Rocksteady and WB figure out where they're gonna go with the next Batman game. It's like, okay, do they still base it off Arkham, or do they come up with a completely new story? So Rocksteady was taking a break from Batman games. Now Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, they did the return, and plus there's a return to Arkham too. Let's not forget about that. Where it's just Arkham City, but Origins should have been a part of that. Now Batman Arkham Asylum, City, and Origins, they all need some updates. They really do. I mean, for instance, in Batman Arkham Asylum, you can't, like, let's say if you were in one of those lookout towers where Joker's guys were. For instance, you cannot like hop up on the rail and then sit there for as long as you want. Then on top of that, when you fly off the building, you don't have the same diving and flying mechanics like you would say in Arkham City, Origins, or Arkham Knight. So that needs to be updated. Plus, a lot of the sewer drains, a lot of the levels in Asylum, they need to be more explorable. A lot of the stages in the Arkham Asylum, they need to be more explorable. The same thing goes for Arkham City. You need to be able to fly off the Hugo Strange Tower and then land anywhere you want, or like in Arkham Origins, you should be able to fly off the top of the Joker's Plaza like you would in Arkham Knight from Wayne Towers. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to fly off that tower, off the Joker's Plaza, land on top of the gargoyle that's on the Joker's Plaza building. Land on top of the bridge. You should be able to fly off the light tower in Origins, get to the top of it, fly off of it, land anywhere you want to. Stuff like that, Origins, City, and Asylum, they need some updates. But Arkham Knight is fine. Now, Gotham Knights may need a little tweak here and there, but that's about it. So, Suicide Squad and Batman games are two different games. And what the fans did was this. What the Batman Arkham fans was this. What they did was this. When Rocksteady did the first playthrough, they did the first playthrough. They, showed the first video, right? The Batman Arkham fans got on Rocksteady about it, right? But what they didn't realize that it was two different type of that Suicide Squad and Batman are two different type of play style. So they got at Rocksteady about it, right? So Rocksteady took it back to the drawing board, fix it up some more, and then release it. The same Batman Arkham fans now, they held on to that anger that they had for the first game, so they got the early access, and then they played it, and then they let their anger out now that they had before for the game. And what they tried to do now, the Batman Arkham fans, is try to ruin it. They tried to ruin Suicide Squad so other people couldn't play it. And then when people play it now, it's like, okay, they got all this negative feedback, they got all this negative feedback that they got to deal with from people that already played it, and some people haven't even played the game yet. So that's why Suicide Squad is going through the problem it's going through. There are two different play styles, two different gameplay, two different stories made in the same universe. Both games are open world, but Suicide Squad map, it's 2 times bigger than Arkham Knight. Okay, and to me, Rocksteady took a break from when they made Suicide Squad. They took a break from it. It's kind of like what From Software did when they made Armored Core. They made 5 games, but they took a break from it for almost 10 years. They took a break, to figure out where they're gonna go next with Armored Core. But now Armored Core 6 is out. So when it comes to Batman games and Suicide Squad, it's the same thing that Rocksteady did. Rocksteady even bought a studio right when they were working on Suicide Squad. So maybe that studio that they purchased, WB, the studio that they purchased, maybe that studio gonna be working on the new Batman series. So, but they took a break. To me, when they built Suicide Squad, they wanted to take a break from the Batman Arkham games. It's like, okay, do we keep making the same Batman games over and over again, or do we come out with a new story, a new environment, not in Arkham, but somewhere else, And I think that's what their plans is. So before they make the next game. Now, if you look at Suicide Squad, and then you look at Batman Arkham Knight's map, both those maps are big. So what if you combine the 2 maps? That might be the next Batman game. I'm just saying, the Suicide Squad map combined. Batman Arkham Knight's map, the entire map. If you look at it, the entire map. You take that now and then combine it with the Suicide Squad map, the entire map. That might be your next Batman game. So, to me, Rocksteady, WB, they got a lot to think about when it comes to their next Batman game. Or maybe Rocksteady builds Batman, the next Batman game, while Suicide Squad is out, and then once they build it, they did it like how they do it like how they did with Batman Arkham Origins, where Rocksteady built the Batman Arkham game, but then WB then take it and then they add another story to it. So to me, they got a lot of things to think about when it comes to Batman Arkham games, and where they're gonna go when it comes to Batman game. Now, is Suicide Squad is that game a terrible game it's a terrible game like they want to make it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I just think it's just the negative feedback when people were reacting to the game. That's what kind of ruined the momentum of the game. But then you got some people that's trying to enjoy the game. They're playing it. They like the open worldness of the game, and they want to see more. Now there's articles saying that that Rocksteady has a plan of they got some DLCs that's coming that they're gonna add to the game. I've seen articles talking about, they say they didn't meet expectation, but the expectation was ruined by the players that tried to ruin the game earlier, because the Suicide Squad is not a Batman Arkham game. That's where the expectation was they didn't meet the expectation, because the Batman Arkham fans, they want another Batman game. But what they failed to realize is that Rocksteady took a break from Batman Arkham games so they don't get burned out, so they don't get tired of making Batman games. They took a break to figure out where they're going to go next when it comes to Batman games. And that's what the Batman Arkham fans failed to realize. But Suicide Squad right now, all it needs is some updates. It needs it needs some updates and some expansions, and probably some new type of movement, you know, new type of movement. Now some people try to say, you know, Suicide Squad is repetitive. Okay, I could say I could say the same thing about about Batman. Like when he's attacking you, and then you start bouncing off one person to the next, and you've been doing the same thing since Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, and even Arkham Knight. That is repetitive. Just saying. So, you know, Suicide Squad just needs some updates. That's all it really needs. You know, and some new, probably some new characters, and probably some new villains, and that's about it. You know, but other than that, man, I don't think the game is a terrible game like people want to make it out to be. Now some people I've seen people on YouTube try to take Batman Arkham City and try to compare it to Suicide Squad. And the Suicide Squad map is better than Batman Arkham City, because Arkham City map, you are limited in what you can do. You're limited in what you can do. Just saying. The same thing goes for Arkham Asylum. If you try to take Batman Arkham Asylum's map and then compare it to Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad beats Arkham Asylum's map. Suicide Squad map beats Arkham City. Suicide Squad map beats Arkham Origins. Suicide Squad map beats Arkham Knight, because it's bigger and it's more open. So when it comes to you know, Suicide Squad, it just needs some updates and some expansions, and that's about it. Maybe some new movement, but and then go on from there. But to say the game is a failure, it's just a lot of people when they say failure, and it's like a lot of people when they try to review a game, they don't review it thoroughly. You know, they don't review it thoroughly because they never told you that, okay, Suicide Squad and Batman Arkham games are two different games. They never told you that. They never told you that it's two different gameplay. They never told you that, right? They never told you that Suicide Squad map is bigger than Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight is bigger than Arkham Origins, it's bigger than Arkham City, and it's bigger than Arkham Asylum. They never told you that. So when they say, when people, a lot of people when they play when they review Suicide Squad, they start playing Batman Arkham game. They're not playing the actual game itself. Okay, so you know, the game is not as terrible as people want to make it out to be. So you know, Rocksteady got some updates they need to add to that game. Now, where Rocksteady really messed up at is when they put the DRMs into the game. You know, they put the DRMs into the game. They took the formula from they took the formula that DC Universe laid out, and then try to make it a live service, but they messed up where they put DRMs, and that was the only problem, probably the only major big problem with that game, with the Suicide Squad. But is it a terrible game like some people want to make it out to be? Nah. It's just the Batman fans, they think Batman games is the end all be all to, you know, to video games. You know? that's their problem that they have to deal with. But other than that, man, Suicide Squad is the game just needs some updates and some new expansions, you know. So yeah, but you know they're both open world, you know. Batman Arkham Asylum. When it comes to Batman Arkham Asylum, the areas they need to be more explorable. There's a lot of the areas in Arkham Asylum they need to be more explorable, and I would say all the sewer drains they need like a question mark in them, you know. And in Batman Arkham Asylum, you need that flying mechanics. You need that flying mechanics, you know. Arkham City, you need the update where you can fly off Hugo's Strange Eye Tower, land anywhere you want to. Origins, same thing. You need to be able to fly off the light tower. That's one. Fly off the Joker's Plaza. That's two. And so you can land on the bridge or wherever you want to land. You need to like a auto locking system. Like, let's say you're swinging from light pole to light pole. You should be able to lock onto the next pole and then swing to it. So yeah, updates like that. Some of the areas in Origins need to be more explorable too. Some of the buildings. So yeah, but Arkham Knight is fine. Or some of the buildings in Arkham Knight could be updated. But Suicide Squad, Batman Arkham games are two different games, two different stories, two different gameplay, two different play styles. Okay? And that's the difference between the two. You know, Batman is not Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is not Batman. Batman is a good guy fighting bad. Suicide Squad, you're the bad guys fighting the good guy, and that's the only difference with the games. So yeah, but people try to tear the game down, you know, but they need to do it. They need to explain the game a little bit more, you know, and you can't just talk about frame, and you can't just sit here talking about frame rates all the time and graphics. You know, you have to break down the two play styles. You have to go into it a little more deeper. So yeah, but other than that, man, both games, Batman Arkham series and Suicide Squad, they all need updates. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored Dark Side. Go. Peace.